welcome to the TOT TalkShow. Hi, Rick. Good morning, America.
Good morning, Lim. Good evening, Asia.
Good evening, Rick. It's so good to see you. I think I need to apologize. We made a small little mistake on our poster. It says 8:30 we start, but we started half an hour early. Was that an MDRT kind of, what do you call this, habit to start early?
Starting early means starting on time.
Right. I'd like to welcome Rick to coming on to the show. This is a new line, a new show added to the Lim Ren En Live series that we are having since last June. They started this program, but the TOT Talk Show is something new. And let me just introduce what we are doing here. Now, we are proud to bring you a new line of show, the TOT Talk Show. The TOT stands for Top of the Table, the highest recognition of a financial advisor within the MDRT world. Now, the TOT Talk Shows aspire to nurture and grow the next generations of MDRTs, COTs, and TOTs in Asia, right? So we will bring you a new breadth of sales idea and technical know-how in our work as financial advisors. We will try to inspire you to be a better version of you. MDRT, the Whole Person Concept. And of course, we want to help you to think strategically to boost your sales towards MDRT Qualification in 2021, right? So let me do a small intro since I am the more experienced show host here. I think this is it's your second time, Rick, onto a show?
This is my second time on Facebook Live. That's correct.
This is the second time you're on Facebook Live, right? Now, let me introduce Rick to all of you. And I've done Facebook Live for like, I don't know, maybe 110 times. So let me introduce Rick to you. For all of you, audience out there, if you do not know Rick, now let me tell you who is Rick. Rick is a 10-year MDRT Life Member with 2 top-of-the-table membership. He is an Asian American from New York City, USA. Rick is an international speaker, a business coach, and the founder of Midas Wealth. Now, Rick, Midas Wealth is a financial advising firm that sets its intention to educating financial literacy to the Asian minority community. Rick specializes in strategy partnership, getting other professionals to collaborate with him. Rick and his team focus solely on private wealth management for the middle and high net worth individuals. His team specializes in wealth and tax diversification through holistic generalization planning. Wow. I think that is a bit of a mindful. But let me just put it simple. Rick is 10-year MDRT member, 2 times top of the table member. And Rick is an amazing international speaker. All right? So I'm going to save Rick a little bit of trouble. Let me introduce myself.
Sure.
I'm Lim Ren En, a 12-year MDRT member with 3 court of the table member and 1 top of the table qualification. I'm also the past country chair, the immediate past country chair for MDRT Malaysia. I'm a well-traveled speaker internationally for MDRT, and I've spoken at the prestigious MDRT annual meeting main platform in Miami, and also at MDRT Global Conference main platform in Sydney, Australia. I specialize in SME, small medium industry, business market sales idea, and strategic thinking for top of the tables. So that is me. Now, Rick, I know this is the first time you're on the show. I don't want to steal the limelight for you. I like all of those audience outside. If you like what we are doing, please give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and please like our page as well, like Lim Ren En Live, so that you'll be reminded of future shows that is coming, all right? So we are going to do this. Rick, we're going to do this, right? We're going to spend about 30 minutes talking about some ideas and some questions. And today's focus is on what? Today's focus is achieving TOT through Zoom.
Correct.
So we're going to talk about that for the next 20-25 minutes. Then we're going to open the floor for questions. So for the audience outside, if you want, for all the MDRT members and whoever aspiring MDRT members outside, if you want to ask a question, you can ask a question, and please key in a question and ask us. So as top of the table, we will try our best to answer them, right? Now, Rick.
Exactly.
Your turn now. Say something.
Sure.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a fun session, right? It's not going to be. Yeah.
So Lim, tell us more about yourself. I know you've been doing these shows for a long time now. The purpose of today, us having this top of the table program, how can we help more people?
You know what, Rick? Sometimes, I think people hate honest advice, but honest advice is something I say most people need to hear them. So we're going to help you, the audience out there. If you are willing to learn, we are willing to share with you, not teach. I would say share with you honest advice that hit you in the head and make you think again. What are you going to do next? Can we promise each other, Rick, we're not going to be nice, right? Yep. Are we going to be nice?
We will try to be nice, but our focus is to be honest, transparent, and to give, to make sure the audience that is watching and participating, they will have tremendous value.
The key is to be honest and transparent and to give, right? And
that's right.
And a lot of times, sometimes, look at life. Honest advice sometimes is hard to take. I took some honest advice through the years in MDRT, and people tell me you're wasting your time, Renan, by doing this, so drop it. Brian Hackett told me, whatever you're doing now, drop it, and just focus on what you're supposed to do. That is honest advice, right? That makes you think what you're going to do. But today's topic, we're going to talk about achieving MDRT, achieving top of the table, achieving TOT through Zoom. So the pandemic, how bad it is in America? Rick, tell us, how bad did the pandemic actually affect your work in America now?
So I think when COVID-19 struck the world, especially in America, we did not experience the impact it would have to our families, our lives, our friends, and our business. Regarding Zoom, prior to March of 2020, when it struck America and the rest of the world, 95% of our client meetings were face-to-face. Less than 5% of our meetings were virtual and phone call. But when that all happened, federal, state governments mandated a quarantine. And before it happened, as the founder and CEO of Midas Wealth, I had shared with our team the importance of what we're trying to achieve. And that is safety and impacting and helping our clients in our community. So I know, Lim, you and I spoke about this, but after COVID, we went from 95% in-person meetings and 5% phone and virtual to 99% Zoom and virtual and phone calls and less than 1% in person. And last year, as difficult as it was, we were able to have our best year ever. We had to recreate ourselves, and that's what we did.
Now, tell us, Rick, the process you took from getting from 0 to 95% meeting through Zooming, right? Through Zoom. Everybody knows Zoom, right? Is there anybody that don't know Zoom? If there's still a human being that doesn't know Zoom, come, I'll teach you how to use it. Right. Sure. Tell us the process you took from 0 to 99%. Great. I will share my process, but tell us your process. How did you do from 0 to 99% in this work?
I think we all work with a team. I spoke with our team and I asked them, how can we continue to be efficient and safe? So being others focused, we decided in the past, our process was we work with 1,000 families and it's all organic introductions, referrals. So in the past, my associate would give you, for example, Lim, a call and schedule and offer you an opportunity to come in our office, see our operation. And in that first meeting, we might spend 60 to 90 minutes with getting to know one another, and more importantly, understanding what your goals, concerns, your financial needs are. Mm-hmm. And then a week later, after taking down all the data, we will come back and show those prospects, those clients, a financial plan that's on average 500 to 600 pages in person. So we would normally start with a phone call, introducing what we do and our relationship, inviting you into our office, spend 60 to 90 minutes in person in our first meeting, and in our second meeting, 60 to 90 minutes showing you the financial plan and sharing with you the opportunity to work together. But with this new COVID-19 world, and considering the safety of our team members and our clients and our community, we decided we're going to change that process. We added a small change, which is in that first call, my associate mentions, hey, Lim, we want to introduce you to Rick, but before it makes sense whether or not to actually have a formal conversation, let's start with a 10 to 15 minute introductory call. So in the past, we would just invite you in and get to know you. But today, we start with a 10 to 15 minute introductory call, kind of like an icebreaker, right? During that call, Lim, you can ask me anything you want to ask me, and I will share with you our relationship and our resources. And in that 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to have one of two determination. One, you're all set. You don't really need our help. You have all the resources that you need, and you're on track to achieve your goals. We will reconfirm your decision in that 10 to 15 minutes. But second is if there's opportunities where we can provide more added value, help you retire more efficiently, help you accumulate more wealth, or help you prepare and save on your taxes, then after that 10 to 15 minute phone call, we will then schedule a formal 60 minutes, either phone call or Zoom meeting. But by doing that 10 to 15 minute phone call, the person we first speak with, they already understand our process. They expect what to expect in that next meeting. Most clients would choose phone call because if they're working, either a business owner, either a physician, surgeon, or attorney, and we work with very busy, successful people, they might say, Rick, let's just do a 45, 60-minute phone call. But if they have time and they're in front of a computer or an iPad, we will do a Zoom meeting. So now we will do a 45, 60-minute Zoom meeting as our second process. And then during that, it's all technical questions, asking you more information, gathering more data. And then once we gathered information, a week later, then we show you that 500-page financial plan. But it's also going to be Zoom. That last meeting has to be Zoom so that we can share our screen with the people we meet and show them the recommendations and strategy. So we don't have to meet anyone face-to-face anymore. So what about you, Zoom?
Yeah, so what you're saying that instead of getting them to meet you in the office last time, now you're getting them to do the one step you did well is to actually get them to do a 15 minutes kind of introductory call, right?
Correct.
Wow. Okay, that is nice. So you actually prepared a 500-page financial report for the client?
I've seen financial plans that's over 1,000 pages. It depends on the complexity of the financial plan, but yes, on average, we're looking at somewhere around 400 to 600 pages.
No, in Malaysia, the financial planning, the financial market is financial planning market is not as vibrant as America.
Sure.
Yeah, we don't have a 500-page report. I think Rick, you should send me a copy and let me have a read one of your clients' report and see what we can do here.
How about this? I'll send you my report.
Oh, okay.
I'll send you my report in the future so you have a better understanding.
So
yes.
The next show, we will show Rick's financial report, okay?
Of course.
Now, to all the guests.
Go ahead.
Yeah, to all the guests outside, if you want to ask a question, please raise your question here. We will try to put it on in like a bubble, like I'll put it on a bubble, like Kaka say hello. Say hi to Kaka.
Hello, Kaka.
You know Kaka?
I believe we met briefly on social media, but not in person.
Okay, right. Kaka is top of the table.
Awesome. Congrats, Kaka.
So we will try to put, Irene say hi. So if you ask a question, we will try to put your question on the screen so that we will try to answer them for you, all right? So we're going to do half an hour of sharing between us. And then after that, this is a co-host. I'm not the host, okay? We are co-hosts. So we're going to be sharing the same load of information sharing. But today we're going to focus on how you're going to achieve cut of the table or top of the table through Zoom, right? So I'm going to share how I do it, all right, Rick? If you can spare me my 5 minutes. So I have actually transpired more than I would say 60 to 70% of my sales to online now, instead of 100% before. So what I did is that I put one simple step in front as I would, actually I copied that from you last year. Actually, I will ask the clients, would you like to have a face-to-face meeting? Just one question. Would you like to have a face-to-face meeting or would you like to meet through Zoom? You know what? Most of the clients will say Zoom is fine. So I'll meet them on Zoom. I'll meet them over Zoom, or my power planner will meet them over Zoom. Then from there, I will hop in and introduce myself. I'm Ren En. I'm here to help with the insurance matters and with the insurance quotations and all that. We will go through all the details that they want, and they will ask us questions through Zoom. And most of the clients, when they come to that stage, they already know what they want. So all they are looking for something that they want. So what we do is that we have pre-prepared some proposals for them. And during the proposals, we will share it on the screens and share the screen with them. And at the end of the day, throughout the meeting, we will actually type in. I will actually open up another window. Take example, like the WhatsApp window. And we will type in the important notes that I have been telling them. So take example, like I will type in like your life insurance is how much, your critical illness is for $500,000, your critical illness is premier critical illness, it pays on top of life insurance, your medical insurance has a total annual limit of say 1.5 million, blah, 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 blah. Once you put that in, then the client has their eyeball actually catches them on screen as well, because they're looking as you type on their WhatsApp chat room. So it is, in a way, it's just like when you are doing a face-to-face meeting, when you're writing on a piece of paper, they follow the tip of your pen when they understand and follow what you're trying to say. So in that matters, at the end of the day, the client will get a full, complete narration of what you told them on WhatsApp, which is the easiest way for them to follow back. And if they need to think about it, they will have the soft copy through WhatsApp as well, through email, whatever. And they have the full transcript of what I told her during the whole 30 minutes, right? So if they want to go ahead with the plan, we will do a remote signing with them, send them the details and all that. So I think that is how I did it, how I actually did this through Zoom. I think Zoom is quite amazing. It's quite easy to do. And we've been doing this quite well, right? And Rick, you hit your top of the table again and again.
Lim, my question to you is achieving top of the table. In the past, prior to this, what percentage of your meetings were in person? And now today, what percentage is in person and what percentage is Zoom to help you achieve top of the table?
So for me to achieve top of the table, before I achieve top of the table, my percentage of meeting is 100% face-to-face. I've never done anything through emails or because you can't. Before the pandemic, March, the Malaysian law doesn't allow non-face-to-face meeting.
Interesting.
It's against the insurance law if you didn't see your client face-to-face. But then, when the pandemic happens, then the governing body relaxes those rules and allows non-face-to-face meeting and allow remote signature.
Great.
Yeah. So, if you ask me now, I still doesn't go to 99% yet, because Asia, we always like to see the guy. You know, Asia is all about meeting you face to face, shake your hand, let's have a drink, and then we talk business. So
Sure.
that part of it, it is still a bit difficult to take over, but we can actually replace the first two or the first meeting non-face to face. So meaning the first two meetings we can do it non-face to face, and when he's ready to sign, he still wants to see the guy. So we go out and see the guy. But some clients, educated clients, some clients who are actually more, what do you call this, educated and a bit more receptible to technology will be willing to actually do everything through remote signature. It's fine. Yeah.
So how often, like, I'm assuming we are from New York City, our office is in Manhattan, so population density is different. But on average, when you commute to see your clients face to face, what is the amount of travel time that you would say per client?
Last time,
Yes.
I live in the huge metropolitan of KL. So Kuala Lumpur, you have to come to KL one day. I'll bring you around, stay in my house. You know, come in the big metropolitan of KL. Then we have all the satellite cities and all that. I think to travel in KL from a point to another point, within traffic, everything, it is about 30 minutes to travel around KL. From one appointment to another, you have just expect 30 minutes, unless your client works next door to you. Wow. And in Malaysia, client doesn't come to our office.
Interesting.
You know, we've learned from MDRT that in America, people comes to your office, but in Malaysia, people doesn't come to your office. We go to their office.
Interesting.
Or we go to their house. So we didn't have the luxury of sitting in a nice office, polish the office nice properly, and welcome like a ton of clients through within the year. It doesn't happen in Malaysia. Our office are mainly for, say, salespeople to come in to pass on their cases, do administrative work and all that. It is not for clients to come and see. I tried to do that and it didn't really work very well. So we will still need to go and see clients, but once we can do non-face-to-face at 60% or 70% of our meetings, we really cut back all this traveling time and we can pack a lot more meetings in between.
Based on what you just said and the commute time, I think you could double the amount of meetings in a day based on the fact that you don't have to commute anymore. Because if you think about it, 30 minutes to one meeting and 30 minutes to leave that meeting to go to your next meeting, that's an hour. Assuming you have a 10-hour workday, right? That means just commute time is 5-hour meetings and 5-hour commuting. But imagine if you can transition your business to more of a virtual or phone call, then you can technically be in the comfort of that same room and do 10 meetings back to back 10 hours. So you're absolutely right. But today's society and world make it a lot more easier and efficient for us to help more people.
Yes, I agree. So as I say, guys, for those people outside, you can start asking questions. We will try to answer you as soon as possible. When we finish this, we will pick up questions and don't be shy. I mean, Rick is not shy, so don't be shy. You can ask any question you want. Now, this next question I want to ask you, Rick. What is the best advantage you achieved through this practice of having most of your meeting, nearly 99% of the meeting through Zoom? What did you achieve actually?
There are many advantages of doing business in a different way. Number one is growth, right? Prior to COVID, we were so used to doing the same thing or a similar process for over a decade. With today's new process, it challenged myself and our team to do more, help more, but be not work harder, but work smarter. That's very, very important. So the first advantage, I think, having this new process is safety and health, right? Because if you work with a team, I have 3 kids under 4 years old. I would never want to put my family at risk. I would never want to put my teammates at risk. I would never want to put the clients at risk, right? So number one is safety and health. Number 2 is actually efficiency. After transitioning our process in this new world, speaking to the people people we work with, they actually appreciate it and prefer it. They prefer it a lot more. They actually rather not us commute to them, or they rather not commute to us. And we get straight to the point. That 10 to 15-minute phone call will determine whether or not it even makes sense. Now, when you do that 10 to 15-minute phone call, and I hope people ask more questions, it's not as simple as a phone call. It takes a lot more technicality and skill. Lim, when you meet someone face to face, you and I both know this, we can hopefully read body language. We can tell if, Lim, if you look at me in the eye and you're like this, you're probably not really in a good mood. If you're smiling and you're interested and your eyes are focusing on what I'm teaching you, you're now following along. Now, when you do that 10 to 15-minute phone call, it takes a more technical skill. You can close your eyes and listen to the tonality of the person you speak with. Listen to their heart rate. So advantages are growth and skills. Number two, efficiency. We now, instead of we used to keep 6 to 8, 10 meetings a day. We're keeping 15 to 20 meetings a day. 15 to 20 minutes.
You're saying what, 15 to 20 meetings a day? You mean your team, 4 of them or 5 of them doing this, or one of you doing it?
Well, technically, if you think about this, a meeting, how long is a meeting? People always ask me, how long is your typical meeting? As long as it needs to be.
If it's a Zoom meeting, 45 minutes, you get tired of it?
Well, true, but not true. If you have good content, a Zoom meeting, like when you watch a movie on your laptop, on your computer, after 45 minutes, you go like, oh my God, I need a break, I come back later. No, right? Sometimes, as long as you're engaging, it will be as long as possible. But I will share with you, many of our meetings are 10 to 15 to 20 minutes, where if you do a 20-minute meeting in 1 hour, I could do 3 meetings. If I do 10 hours, I could do technically 30 meetings, right? So we can have as much meeting as we want. But what's really cool about Zoom and virtual and digital is not only safety, efficiency, but also saving cost. I used to drive, I used to print out a lot of paper. When I build this 500-page book, the amount of resources we put into it on average is over $500 to $1,000 manpower. But more importantly, we have to spend money on creating that book. Now we don't have to. And clients appreciate that, because once we're done with our presentation on Zoom, we securely email it to them, where they can look at it at their time frame and they can edit it however they want. But what's really special is through Zoom, imagine, Lim, you and I met face to face and I gave you a 500-page book. Then you go, I spoke with my wife, Rick. Instead of retiring at 65, I want to retire at 55. Right? Then I go, oh my God, Lim, let's see you in 1 week. Let me go back, take this 500-page book, throw it away and create a new one. That's a lot wasted in resources. You tell me I want to retire 55, 65. I want to have double the income or less. You know what I do? Give me 1 second. I text my team. Within 5 minutes, they update the program. They send it to me, and I'll show it to you in the same meeting. That's the efficiency. That's the new world of helping your clients and your community.
Yeah. So let's pick up the first question, right, Rick?
Sure.
So there are a few questions. Some questions are not too related to today's topic, but we're going to do one question that is related to today's topic. So now it says, how can we make the Zoom meeting more engaging? Would you like to take that, or you want me to take that first?
Lim, why don't you go first?
So how do I actually make the Zoom meeting a bit more engaging? I think number one, don't look sloppy in front of the camera. So if you're going to engage a client, a lot of you do it at home, and your house background looks horrible. You know, you're sitting in a dining table, your kids' toys all over at the back. I would say, please, if you want to engage a client properly, please buy a green screen and put behind in front of the thing, right? Sometimes your green screen can go fader in and out, and you can still see all the toys out there. So number one is to look really good. Even though you're doing at home or doing at office, or you're doing at the comfort of your bedroom, the Zoom meeting, please dress up and show up. Do not come in like a slob. Look at Rick today. Rick is what, 7 o'clock now in America?
7 o'clock in America.
Yes, 7 o'clock in America. If you look like Rick and you get in front of a client, you will close that case. But if you look sloppy, you will not, because the client have no trust in you. Second thing, I think the second thing, how to make the Zoom meeting interesting is to be prepared. Do not come in front of the Zoom and then you try to make the proposal. Try to type in. Wait. Let me type into Excel sheet. Wait. 5 minutes. I do it. Do you think the client have 5 minutes and wait for you to type in? No. The client wants it like that. You must put it out and share. Put it out and share. Just instantly. It is so fast. A lot of agents doesn't do that. They thought the client would be the mother, forever patient. No, you must prepare everything on your fingertip before you see the client. The third thing, as I say, put in front of this, what they call this, a note like WhatsApp, and share live as when you bring through the client point by point with them, and just share with them on so that they have a copy. So that's what I do. Look great, prepare all your documents, and the last one, use notes, type in your live narration of what the key points to the policy is, and keep them interested. And at the end, like what Rick says, you can send everything to them. They will read it, or they will sign it online and get it done for you. That's what I do. So how do you do it? How do you make a Zoom meeting engaging?
I've known Lim for over a year. How we met was through our study group at MDRT. And I will agree with that. Lim always is good looking and prepared, as you just mentioned, especially when we do our study group meetings globally, and you're in Malaysia and I'm in USA. So what we do to keep Zoom meeting engaging is simple. Number one, before even you engage in Zoom, I hope that if you're meeting clients in person or Zoom, you have practiced that meeting in your head. So this is a habit I've created probably the last 10 years. I always spend at least 30 minutes mentally having the meeting before I have it.
Yep, mentally prepare the meeting before you have it.
Yes. So if you go into that Zoom meeting with your client, you've already had the meeting. So what we do is we actually create a folder, no distraction, whether it's in our calendar or just on a desktop, and you click on it, and then everything you want to present is there. Now, because we had the meeting in our head before even having the meeting, if the client's meeting is 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, or 90 minutes, I know exactly which pieces to go over. Although we have a 600-page proposal, I'm not going over all 600 pages. I'm going over the very most important pages that it's interesting and expected from the client. And more importantly, this is probably something that it's expected. Invest in good technology, right?
Correct.
If you're going to go into virtual meetings, have a good laptop, have a good iPad, have a good camera, have a good mic, right? And obviously your background is very important, because how you design your background determines who you are. And I think it might be distracting, because if you're having Zoom or WhatsApp meeting on your phone, and you're waiting at the bus stop, and then you see all these people run back and forth, forget about it.
Forget about it. Yeah. So can we just get Rick? Are you there? Okay. Yeah. So this guy asks us, are you wearing short pants now?
Just curious. Well, Lim, I'd rather you answer that. I can answer it too. Since
it is 8 o'clock at night, I am wearing short pants. You want to see? We say this show is supposed to be candid. It is not supposed to be serious. We're not. That's why I told Rick, please don't come in ties, jackets, and everything. No need. Just come in t-shirt. It's fine. With a cap, it's fine. Now, okay, let's go back to the serious stuff. Now, this is a very good question. Now, they ask how to convince the prospect to sign up in our virtual meeting. Rick, you want to take that?
Sure. I'm going to share with you guys and gals something that's very important. You need to stop convincing. It's that simple.
It's mind-boggling, right?
Yeah, so Law, that's a great question, but I would wonder, what is your process and everyone's process? In the last 10 years, we've averaged over 200 lives a year. The last 3 years, we wrote over 300 lives. We submit on average 30 to 40 applications a month. And if people ask me, how do you do it? My simple answer, I don't convince anything. Because Lim, let me ask you a question. When we work together, all I want to do is listen intently, engage in your goals, and take down great notes. If you told me that you want to retire at 60 years old with 10,000 US dollar a month and travel the world, I need to convince you. It's your goals. All I need to do back with a recommendation that show you where you are today, where you want to be in the future, and mathematically, logically, and using data, history, facts, and science, fill in the blanks. I don't convince anyone anything. What I do, I help people, I problem solve. So, great question. The more you try to convince someone to do something, it's the lack of your process and skill. Instead, I don't convince anyone anything. I just teach them, educate them, help them understand it. And then ultimately at the end, they said, well, Rick, how do I get started? Rick, how can we work with you? And then we share with them the next steps.
Right. So let me answer that question. Rick, you give a very good point there. Stop convincing, but actually telling, preparing what they want. Fulfilling what they want by giving them the products and the services and the ideas that will help them achieve their goals. That is amazing. So now for Malaysian context or for the Asian context, we are mostly life insurance agents. We are not financial advisors. So there is a little bit of difference. But let me just fill up that little gap in between what just Rick says. How to convince your prospect to sign up. I totally agree with Rick. You don't have to convince the clients to sign up. You just have to tell him that you just have to let him know the awareness of he has a problem and you have a solution. If you need to convince the client to buy something from you, means your product has no value to the client. He is buying just because you asked him to. And that makes you a salesman, not a financial advisor. You're not even an insurance agent. You're not even an insurance advisor. You're a salesman. Salesman begs people to buy things. But if you're a financial advisor and a life advisor, think out of the box, think in a different context. How could I, with his problem, do something to solve his problem? Put yourself in his shoe. Put yourself in the shoe. If you're a factory owner or a hawker, and this guy has a loan, this guy has 3 children and have 100,000 life insurance. Is that enough? What you need to do is to bring light into him and let him know that your life insurance is not enough to cover your 3 kids' expenses if you stop selling chicken rice today. What you need to do is to get enough life insurance for all your children. For yourself means the owner. And stop selling saving plans. Sorry. Sorry to say that. That's a great... Why do I say stop selling saving plans? The Malaysian market has a problem. They like to sell 5 years, 10 years saving plans to the clients. But these policies are expensive with no coverage at all. Malaysia, stop selling saving plans and start selling life insurance to the client and make it work for them. You're not supposed to sell it to enrich yourself. You're supposed to sell it to help the clients. So that is being very blunt, right?
Not blunt enough. Let's be more blunt. All right, I'm having fun. So I'll give you an example.
Our viewership will run away if we become too blunt.
No, that's okay. That's okay. The ones that will come will continue to come. And if we make everyone that's in your viewership top of the table, they will all come. And then there's going to be a bandwidth problem and you're going to crash the internet.
All right.
So I'll give you a quick example. Last year, we met a surgeon making $1 million USD. $1 million US. We were introduced to them by another surgeon in their hospital. When I met with the surgeon, I asked them, what are some of their goals? What are some needs? And then if specifically you just mentioned most people in Malaysia specialize in life insurance, I'll give you the story. I didn't ask them, do you want to buy life insurance? I asked them, if God forbid something happened to you, would you like the people you love most to be okay? Let me repeat that again. I asked them, if God forbid something happened to you yesterday because it already passed, would you like the people you love most to be okay? Doing this for many years, people say yes. And then when I said, okay, what kind of planning have you done in insurance planning? And then he says, oh, I bought life insurance. Here it is. He makes $1 million, $200,000 death benefit. So I said, what is this? He said, this is the life insurance I bought from the life insurance agent. So I say, I'm not a life insurance agent. I'm not even a financial advisor. I'm a wealth management advisor. Let me explain to you what the problem is. If anything happened to you yesterday, that is approximately 2 months of your income. Your children are 5 years old and 3 years old. What is going to happen to your spouse and your kids? You start thinking. So what's very important is my question to them is, if you cannot be here physically, mentally, emotionally for your family, but financially you could be here. We can't change the fact that we pass away, we're not here anymore, but financially we could still be here. What would you like the insurance to achieve? And they tell me everything they want. And then it comes out to not 200,000, it comes out to $15 million. $15 million. So the gap between an insurance agent and a wealth management advisor is 14.8 million in insurance. Okay, so just please understand. And personally myself, when I explain to them, I show them what I have for my wife and kids, right? It's very, very important to understand.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Do not sell anything, but just provide solutions, right, Rick?
Of course.
Right. So now there's this question, Mr. Pong, I don't know if it's Mr. or Miss, sorry. Miss Pong Jia. So for those who just came into the business, how should I improve my prospecting activity? The difficult part is to prospect. Let me take that, right? So I think Malaysian context, it is a bit more relevant. So the difficult part is prospect. It's totally true, Miss Pong. If you cannot prospect, you will die in the business. You will be wiped out, period. That is how cruel the insurance business is. But there are ways to prospect. I am so, sometimes when I listen to new agents that come into business, tell me one thing. You know what, Mr. Lim, I don't want to sell to my family member and my close friends one. I say that's bullshit. Sorry, I cannot say that. It's too blunt. That is BS, right? What do you mean you cannot sell to your family members? For all the new people who are watching the show, if you have this mentality, you will fail in the business. If your mother cannot even, if your mother or your father or your brother or sister cannot even trust you and buy a policy from you, you will not sell to strangers. Start going. No, you should start thinking of getting another job. So prospecting starts from where? I always tell my agents, prospecting starts from your nucleus family. You will have 9 people that you know. You pick up the phone, you call them up, you can have coffee. You have 9. Everybody have 9. Rick, you have more than 9, right now? Everybody have 9. The worst introvert has 9. His father, his mother, his grandmother, his sister, his brother, they have 9. You can call them up and you can have coffee. These are the first 9 people you should see. Then goes up to the second ring. We call it second ring of friendship. After that 9, these 9 people will have another 9 people that they know that they are very close to them. They are family members and friends. 9 times 9 is 81. Once you go to the second ring, you have 81 person to see and 81 person to close. And don't tell me you cannot even close 10, 20, 25 of them, right? These people who trust you, believes you, and think that you are a good person, you can sell to these 81 of them. Now, the trick is this. If you want to do very well in the business, the third ring will make you MDRT. Most agent dies at the second ring, the 81. Once they finish at 81, right, then they fail. Rick, have you seen such agent before? I mean, plenty, right?
Too many.
Too many. But the thing is that once you break through the third ring, if you can get, take example, your brother's girlfriend to introduce his brother to you, her brother to you, which is the third ring, there is 729 prospects that you can see. 81 times 9 is 729 prospects that you can see your MDRT. It is simple. How do you do prospecting? Join clients' common activity. Forwards. Join clients' common activities. Now you can't join the activities, right? But you can still go online, social media, do different things, right? Don't tell me Chinese New Year, you're really sitting at home. A lot of you have been visiting friends, but have you been prospecting or not? So that's my thing for you. Prospecting is not difficult. You just have to join common activities with people that you know and try to get people that you know and start introducing yourself as a very, very helpful, sincerely interested with people, right? And a person that can deliver your service effectively. Be kind to people. You should be doing well, right? That is my take on prospecting, all right?
Correct.
So Rick, now there's one question. This is for you.
Sure.
It says, Rick, what are the true characteristics of a top of the table member?
I'm going to share with you a few words, but it's very simple. It's just not easy. Number one, and this is the most important part, others focus. Others focus. Always have the person in front of you's best interest. It's not about Rick Hugh. It's not about Lim. It's not about anyone else but your prospect, your client. Number two, you have to focus. Focus. When I go into my client meetings, I'm very intentional and I listen intently. For whatever reason, I'm able to transform myself mentally, psychologically to be my client, my prospect, and be them. So if I meet a business owner and they tell me they have problems with taxation, I meet them and they say they have problems saving money for their children's education, their retirement, insuring their family. I try to be them 30 to 45 minutes or an hour. And I say, if this was me, if this was my family, what would I do the same or what would I do differently? And then I create that proposal and that recommendation. And when I go into my client meeting, I always over prepare and my process is very technical. I'm very transparent. I teach people more than they sometimes want to know, but I educate them. I do not care about the results. Whether they work with me or not, it does not matter. I care about my process. If you read a lot of books, you will notice some of the successful athletes in the world, in history, they win not because they're obsessed with winning. They win because they're obsessed with practicing. They are obsessed with constant focus and getting better every single day. So to be top of the table, I think you have to be others focused. You have to be selfless. You have to be honest, transparent, and you have to care. And you need to focus. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates was asked a question many, many years ago, asking two of the most successful people in the world, how did you become so successful? They both said the same answer. And that word was focus.
Focus. So, yeah. Do you know Mohan? You should know Mohan, right? Mohan is like,
I've never been to Mohan.
Yeah, but you should know who is he, right? He's like the superstar of MDRT. He's the godfather of MDRT in Malaysia. He's the guy. Anyway, what are the true characteristics? I just want to add one thing. I think to be a top of the table, as I have shared many times with Rick, with other friends, when people congratulate me on making my first top of the table, I always remember what Brian Hackett told me. You know, it just knocked me on the head. It says, when you go to MDRT annual meeting, you see sales agents. But when you go to top of the table meeting, you see businessmen. So the difference between a normal MDRT and the top of the table is the mind that can think strategically. a person who you can work very hard to be MDRT member, right? You can work your butt off and work very, very hard, outside people calling us the mad dog running team, MDRT, mad dog running team. We work so hard, You can work very hard to be MDRT member, but you cannot work very hard to be top of the table. You must strategize your business, not your job, okay? This is not a job, this is business. You must strategize your business to be top of the table. And I wish Mohan, he will be top of the table very soon. Hopefully this year, if not next with us, right? So.
Yeah, you're right. I just want to interject. You're absolutely right, Lim. When you're MDRT, you're working hard. When you're top of the table, you're working smart. If you think about it, before we're even financial advisors or wealth management advisors, we're all entrepreneurs. We're all entrepreneurs. We need to understand what is our hourly rate, what is our specialty. You can't do everything. You have to delegate. You have to build an enterprise. And that's when you can consistently be top of the table.
Correct. So let's take the next question. Now, guys, if you're watching this live now, this is actually live, all right? You see, I'm taking off my hat. This is actually live.
This is my real hair.
Yeah, this is real hair, okay? I'm just wearing my hat because I'm just so lazy to put on gel because I just want to go to sleep after the show. This is already 9 o'clock, but it's okay. We will still take questions. Now, let us go to the next one, right? Ivy asks, majority... Before we take Ivy, let's take somebody who asked a question early on, okay? Very early on. I have not actually answered those. Wait. Can we zoom background? Yeah. Wei Jian asked, how can we make Zoom meeting more engaging? Example, the background noise, the background outfit, and how about some creative music? All right, I can take that question. How do you make the Zoom meeting very interesting? If you look at my office, you can spend a bit of, this is a studio actually. I'm at home, but this is a home studio. If you have to make some money, right, you should start investing in some equipments, okay? Stop using, if you want to make your background and your image look very, very good, stop using your laptop's camera or your iPad camera. Rick, are you using a laptop camera?
I am using a ring light, and I'm using a different camera.
Yeah, he's using a 1080p high definition Logitech camera, right? Which after I told him to buy, I told Rick, you have to get rid of the camera. You look horrible in front of the camera with that, with that laptop camera. So he went and bought one good one, and it looks amazing now. I am using a professional DSLR camera, but if you don't want to spend 250,000 ringgit on this, forget it. Spend 300 ringgit on a 1080p good camera on your laptop. All right, so at least you get a full HD image. Second thing, clear your clutter. Third thing, outfit, make yourself comfortable. Don't be sloppy. And creative music, you don't need creative music, right? Do you need creative music in a business meeting? No. All right. Tong Wei Jian, I know you very well. You're in KL. When I finish building my Zoom room in my office, come and see it. Give me a week, 2 weeks time. We will finish building the Zoom room. The Zoom room means we're going to put a 60-inch, 65-inch TV up front, a camera, so that the client, our agents can actually use that room to Zoom with the client, and it will look like a real meeting room. So the client will feel like, oh, this is, very real. Different thing, different settings. So, Tong Wei Jian, if you're there, you can come and visit my Zoom room when it's ready, all right?
I would add one more thing to that. Everything you said, Lim, is perfect. The only thing is the room can be less beautiful, can be less expensive.
Yes.
If you can bring even more value.
Correct.
I would say Bill Gates and Warren Buffett can be in the bathroom and people will still watch them and listen to them. Just think about that. It starts with you. Mentally, when I go into a meeting, it's going to be the best meeting I'm going to have. For the client, well.
Yep, I totally agree on that. This is more important than this. They always say content is more important than background, right? Okay, so let's just go to the next one. Are you ready to go for another next 15 minutes, Rick?
I can go for as long as you guys need. It's the day's getting started. I've been up since 5 a.m.
Rick, let's not overpromise people on live Facebook Live.
It's a first show. You want them to come back.
Now, Rick, do you want to do something more interesting?
Anything you guys want.
Now, do you guys, all the audience out there, do you know what is a call-in audience? Call-in audience? Means you call the radio station and we answer your question, right?
Yep.
Actually, my studio can do that. Right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to just put my phone number on the chat room. Please do not disturb me on the normal day, okay? Don't send me SMS and ask me to answer question. We will answer you during the show lah. But for now, you can call me, but I'm going to give you a cue. Not now. Let me answer all these questions. I'm going to give you a cue. Call now, and we will pick up your call, and we will answer your question. You get a chance to get live with us. Is that fun, Rick?
That sounds amazing.
That would be fun, right? I did it once. It was quite fun. All right. So it's on. My number is 016-238-6161. You can call this number later, not now, later, okay, when I give you the cue. All right? Just get it ready, and you call this number. We can pick up your call, and we will try to let you go on live. And you will ask questions, all right? That hopefully is related to the topic today. Now, let's just pick another one. What is your daily routine? Chloe asks, what is your daily routine? Rick, go ahead, please.
Sure. My daily routine is very blocked out and scheduled. 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Normally I'm with my kids, my wife, we're having breakfast. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. exercise, getting ready for my day. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'm planning the day. And then from 9 to 5 p.m. it's work meetings. And I'm very intentional with my schedule. Because if you think about it, time is the only commodity, no matter how wealthy or successful you are, you can never buy. You can extend time by having good medicine, having good food, good health, by exercising, but you can never go back into time. I can't redo what I did 10 years ago. So when you do an ideal calendar and a daily work routine, you have to be intentional. So I block out everything, including family time, work time, and personal time. Lim, what about you?
Well, my routine, okay, I'm very intentional about my time. My staff and my agent knows that I schedule every day to the very minute. So I use a planner called a full focus planner. It's not that I own the company. I don't own this. This company is from America. This is by Michael Hyatt. It cost me a bit. This diary is 250 ringgit. You guys buy diary for 12 ringgit. I buy a diary for 250 ringgit. 20 times more than what you pay. Why? Because it gives me clarity of my life. So how do I actually plan my day? I have what we call a ideal week. You know, where Monday I do what, Tuesday I do what. Monday is a meeting day for me to see all my, this is something like an ideal week. I put it, you can see, I do, yeah. So I actually journal every day. And where did I learn this from? I learned this from Brian Hackett, the top of the table that offered to mentor me a year ago. We were in Miami and he asked me, let me just tell the story later on. He asked me to do this. He said, do you journal yourself and your time? Do you actually know what do you do every day and every minute? I say, I sort of know on my iPhone calendar. He said, that's not enough. You need to journal every day and know what you do. So every day I do this. Like Monday, every single minute is counted for. And I know I need to hit my big three, means the most important three things I need to do today. And whatever that comes after that is a bonus. And after that, I write down the results of what happens today. And at the end of the day, I will write what we call a gratitude list. Things that I'm happy that happens today. Like today, I'll write the top of the table talk show would be a happy thing that happens to me. So that is how I plan my day. If you ask me, I wake up 8 o'clock in the morning. I schedule down. I wake up at 7:30 in the morning. I give my wife a kiss before I go to work, dressed up, blah, 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 blah. By 9 o'clock, if I'm not at home, by 8:30, if I'm not in the office, I'll be in front of my computer having a Zoom meeting with either my staffs, my media team, or having a Zoom meeting with a client. By 12 o'clock, I will be out having lunch with my client. Don't ask me how I did it. I will do it anyway to see them. And 3 o'clock, I will have tea with somebody. And 6 o'clock, probably I'll have another lunch or dinner with a client. So if I see the clients every day, face to face, it will be at least 3 appointments a day. And I will see at least 6 or 7 clients every day. It can be non-related to business. It can be just building relationship. This is fine. So that is my day. And I spend a lot of time thinking. I think one thing, let me just add one more thing. One thing you need to do in your day-to-day meeting and in your weekly calendar, you should put actually aside 2 hours to 3 hours every week to do nothing but think. Do nothing, nothing at all. No movie, no phone time, no books, nothing. Take a long walk for an hour and a half hour and let your brain flows. Whatever comes in. You will think about things. You will think about how to solve this client issue. You will think about how to solve that issue. Just let your brain flows. And I tell you, you will come up with solution that you never thought you would come up with. It helps me a lot. I call it my free time. So how do I do it? I go out for a long walk, say a 6-kilometer walk for 1.5 hours without a phone. That's how I do it.
Just don't go too late at night because it might not be too safe without a phone, okay? I don't know how safe it is in Malaysia, but in USA, we don't do that too late at night.
Yeah, I have a gated guarded house here, so it's fine. It's fine. So I do that. So if you have time, let yourself think. I think that is very important. Right. So any more questions? Who is your mentor? Nobody is calling because I haven't given the cue yet. You know, people are quite shy to call. Now, it's okay. I've got another question. It says, Rick, you want to take this? What is the important daily and weekly practice that you think contributed to your success?
Be grateful. Remember where you came from. Have work-life balance. When I was younger advisor, I've been doing this almost 15 years now. I started when I was 21 years old. From 21 to 30 years old, I came into office the earliest, I stayed the latest. I was MDRT. The last few years that was TOT, I work less. I work even less because I'm delegating and I'm spending time with my wife and my children. Because ultimately, you have to find purpose. You have to find vision. You have to find why you're doing what you're doing. I don't know if you guys ever felt this way. Once you get to a certain point in life, nothing else matters. I'll tell you, if I was MDRT, I was COT, if I was TOT, if I was 100 TOT, honestly, I would still probably live in the same house, drive the same car, eat the same food. But more importantly, I want to have purpose. What is our vision? Why are we doing what we're doing? I want to create a legacy.
You want to create a legacy. Fantastic. What is the most important daily activity practice that contribute to your success? For me, is strategic thinking. I'm a bit different from a lot of people, you know. Ever since young, when I was first in my agency, my colleagues would actually ask me to go for lunch with them. And as a normal guy, you want to be popular and right, you know. So you say yes, but I never say yes. I always say no. I only say yes to a agency lunch meeting when my boss asks me to join the lunch meeting. Because there's 3 questions I ask myself before I go and do this. Because it's my working time, right? So I ask these 3 questions. Number 1, will you buy a policy from me? Number 2, will you introduce another person to buy a policy from me? Will you make my life better? If these three things is a no, any of them is a no, means it's a no. I won't spend time with you. So to all these guys outside, stop spending too much time having lunch with your colleague, because your colleague won't buy another policy with you. Your colleague will not introduce a friend to buy from you. Your colleague will not be your agent. Right? I'm not asking you not to spend any time with them. You will spend time with them when it's time to play. But when it's time to work, work. Don't spend too much time with your own colleagues. Spend time with your clients. I believe your agency will create enough activities for you guys to spend time together to build team spirit, right? So it's fine. Normal week, just spend time with the clients. So I think this is strategic thinking. From young, I think this way. I think strategically. I don't really go with the flow of my feelings or managing my life. I go with a thinking hat. I think strategically how to improve my work. Okay?
That's great.
Wow, we've answered a lot of questions, right? Aisha asked, who is your mentor? Rick, would you like to say that? Take that?
I would say my mentor, there's many mentors in my life, but the person I listen to the most is myself, if that makes any sense. Because, there are studies that show the average person has 7 negative thoughts every minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's over 14,000 negative thoughts a day. I mentor myself by telling myself things that I believe is going to be helpful for me mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And I'm looking forward to meeting the Rick in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone, you can be your mentor. Even the new people that just joined this business can be a direct or indirect mentor.
Yep.
Because the point is, you can always learn from someone. Always learn from.
You just have to be humble and learn from someone else.
Humble and try to learn.
Yep. So who is my mentor? Of course, the guy, my insurance manager brought me in, Mr. Tin Kek Yong. He is an amazing mentor. I asked a ton of questions when I first joined the business. I'm the guy that keep asking questions, but he is forever so patient to answer all my questions, And he is my mentor. He taught me how to think strategically. He taught me how to think properly. He taught me how to be humble and loyal to clients, and taught me how to, serve clients well. And then I owe a lot to him. Everything I have done here, I think my mentor has given a lot of encouragement and and until today, I'm top of the table. I'm quite successful. I still see him like maybe 5 to 6 times a year. And I make it to a point that every time I bought a new car, he will be the first guy to ride in it for lunch. Really? I've bought 12 cars and I've done that with every single car.
Wow.
So that is fun, right?
I'll send you my financial plan. You have to send me pictures of all 12 of your past cars and new cars.
Okay. So I'm planning to buy another new car, so he get to sit probably in the new Lexus soon. But anyway, that is my mentor. The other mentor I think is Man Mohan. Mohan is my MDRT mentor. He taught me a lot on MDRT values and all that, and I'm forever grateful to Man Mohan. Mr. Man Mohan, thank you so much for mentoring me all these years. He spent 4 hours in the plane with me at the back of the plane telling me to be MDRT. 4 hours at the back of the plane, standing next to the toilet, just two of us talking about MDRT. And convincing me to join the first annual meeting after I qualified. So thank you so much, Mr. Mohan. And after I joined the first one, it just blew me away, and took me to new heights in my life. Thank you, Mr. Mohan. And he has been a great mentor in my experience as a country chair for Malaysia, and taught me a lot of things, how to manage the MDRT Malaysia and make it a success. So I think third guy is who actually really mentored me, Brian Hackett. Brian Hackett. Let me tell you this story. Brian Hackett came to Malaysia. I was the country chair of Malaysia, so I have to entertain him, right? Bring him to lunch, dinner, and all that. So, and when we met in America, so we extended an offer to Brian. Would you like to come to Malaysian night? You know, in MDRT annual meeting, we have Malaysian night, Indonesian night, Japan night, and all that. So he came to Malaysian night, and he was sitting beside me. We were giving him this nice beef steaks in Miami. And all of a sudden, is it Miami? Yeah, it was Miami, correct. All of a sudden, he asked me, Renan, would you like to be mentored by me? In my heart, I think I stopped cutting my beef, you know. I just stopped. I was like, is this real? Is this even real? So my wife was looking at me and she like kicked me in the feet. Respond, you know. And I was like, oh, you know, Brian, is amazing that you asked me. And the next thing he said is even more amazing. It is for free. I'm going to just mentor you towards TOT. That's it. It's free. Just come in. Let's talk about your issues. Oh my God. I couldn't swallow the next piece of beef. And of course, as a court of the table, as a guy who look up to this president of MDRT, I say yes. And from there, he mentored me for the last year. Throughout the year, we had conversation every 6 weeks, 7 weeks, for 1 hour, 1.5 hours through Zoom and all that. He will wake up 6 o'clock in the morning and just have a one-on-one with me. And here I am, top of the table. And thank you, Brian Hackett. I salute you. And, you know, I want to do the same and mentor the next generation, like what Rick, you have set your eyes into, mentor the next generation of MDRT, COT, and top of the table from Asia. And that's why we are doing this, right, Rick? That's why we are doing this. You know? Okay, let's just take one last question, and we will take one. You can call me now. Let me just put my number up, all right? Don't call me to ask for money. I don't have much for you. Call me and ask for questions, advice. I'll actually answer you. Now, this is my number. If you want to call us, just call us live. We will put you through live in the show, and you get to ask questions live on our show, and we'll try to answer that. All right? Have a short conversation with us. All right. So now we are waiting for the guy. The next question. I see who has the balls to call up. Now, how do you control? Next question, Rick. How do you control your emotion from negative thinking and avoid the down?
Oh, that's a really good question. By challenging yourself to get out of your comfort zone. Remember that. By challenging yourself to get out of your comfort zone. I am an only child. I grew up introverted. There goes the phone. It's ringing.
It's ringing.
It's ringing.
Should we pick this up? You just quickly wrap this up.
And I'll come back to this question. Yeah.
All right. Hi. Just hold on. Hi. Hello. Let me see.
They lost first caller.
No. Okay. Hi. Can you hear us?
I'm Faisal. Yeah, I'm Faisal.
Oh. The live caller is on. All right.
Yeah.
Can you introduce yourself?
Okay, sure. I'm Faisal from Ethical Family Takaful Berhad.
All right, Faisal.
I'm quite happy. Yeah, I'm quite happy to see both of you, my mentor live in Facebook today. So I have a question to both of you. Maybe you can answer, also the other person can answer too. My question is simple. I'm MDRT 3 times in row. For the last year also I'm MDRT. That's the third time I'm MDRT. My question, how I can improve my personal self. At the same time, I'm quite busy, focused on my agency because I just promoted as a agency director, the highest level in hierarchy of agency. But at the same time, I want to remain to be MDRT or lifetime MDRT or try to be COT on this year. Can you give me advice? That is my question. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks Faisal. Thank you for calling in. All right, this is fun, right? He just asked this question. In Malaysia, you are agent and your agency manager, and Rick, to tell you the truth, Rick has one of the biggest agency in US, okay? Now, how do you actually, he asked, he's third year MDRT member and he's now an agency manager. How do you actually juggle these two, that he wants to be a lifetime member and also do very well as an agency manager? Rick, you want to say that?
Sure.
I think you have all the credentials to tell him the answer.
So when I was 21 years old, I joined this industry, and within 3 years, I became the youngest managing director in the country, in my company in the USA. It was me and 5 people. And then within 7 years, I recruited over 100 to join my team. But by the 5th year, we were #1 office in the country. And the only thing I can share with you, there are many different tips, secrets, and strategies. But the #1 thing as a leader is lead from the front. Lead from the front. If you want to build a team that will follow you, you must do well yourself. So in America, if you are an agency leader, you can produce and be an advisor, or you could just recruit, develop, train people and not be an advisor. I said to myself, there's no such thing as being one or the other. It's not like being a good husband or a good father. It's both. So I would always be very intentional with my calendar, and I would strategize in a 5-day work week, or sometimes 6 days. Because if I said I'm going to keep 30 appointments a week and I need to train my advisors, if I don't keep my 30 appointments by Friday, I'm working Saturday, I'm working Sunday. Because my promise is my commitment, and it's not a dream because it's a goal. So therefore, I would always lead from the front. I would bring my team to my meetings, and I would teach them as I work with clients. So I was an MDRT advisor first in my office, and then I taught everyone in my team how to be MDRT. Then as I continue to be quarter table, they became MDRT and quarter table. And now that I'm top of the table and so forth. Today, I'm not an agency director anymore because of my time commitment to my wife and my children. But I would say if I want to go back and be an agency director, I certainly can, but my vision has changed. But I just need to tell you, be intentional with your time. Every minute matters to me. Every minute, that's all.
Yeah, so I can't give you much of an input on that, Faisal, because I didn't do very well myself as an agency manager, but I did very well as a salesperson. But I'm still an agency manager. Give me another year. When I build my agency, I'm actually focused in building my agency this year. Give me another year or two. When you ask the same question on the show, I'll answer you. Right?
Yes.
Thanks, Rick, Mr. Mohan. Mr. Mohan, if you are still there, can you please call my number and start chatting with us? If
Sure.
you hear me.
Can we go back to Rosita? I just feel bad because I was in the middle of answering her.
Yeah.
And then
what is the most effective way to ask? No, sorry, not this one. Rashida. How do you control your emotion from negative thinking? Rashida, here is Rick.
Okay. So, Rosita, once again, get outside your comfort zone. I'm an introverted growing up. I'm an only child. I didn't have many friends. Most of my friends were imaginary friends. When I started in this career at 21 years old, I had a lot of weakness, very little strength. I did not do well. As a matter of fact, my first 6 months, I only had 4 clients. Now, last month, we probably acquired 40 clients. What made my change? I realized that in order for me to be the best version of myself, I got out of my comfort zone. So every day I would do something uncomfortable. In New York City, I used to take the train and I would play games with myself. I would dare myself to do things that were uncomfortable. I said, well, today I'm going to go on the train. I'm going to go to 3 people and I'm going to start a conversation. It's very uncomfortable, but I did it. I would tell you, Rosita, there was one time many, many years ago, I went to a New Year's Eve party. A New Year's Eve party by myself. Why did I do that? It was uncomfortable. When I went to that New Year's Eve party by myself, before midnight, and I was single at that time, I said, I'm going to go up to someone, get their phone number, and go on a date with them, follow them. And I did it. It was very, very uncomfortable, but I did it. The version I am today versus the version I was when I was 21 years old, I probably changed at least 10 times. So the only way for you to control your emotions is get out of that comfort zone, because I can control all emotions, because none of my emotions really matter, because I felt the most uncomfortable fear, anxiety, to making them all comfortable.
Right, fantastic answer, Rick. You don't look a bit introvert right now. Now, yeah. So that is an amazing question. Mr. Mohan is calling. Let's just pick Mr. Mohan's call, all right? The past country chair and the current global council member of MDRT World, all right? Hello. Just hold on, boss. Okay, how are you, boss?
I'm good. Great job. Well done.
Wow, this is Mr. Mohan, one of my mentors in my life, the guy who spent 4 hours in a 747 next to the toilet with me at the back of the plane, convincing me to join the first annual meeting.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Mohan.
I'm glad you followed that advice.
So, how are you, sir? How are you doing?
I'm good. I must congratulate you for inviting Rick on the show, and your first TOT, and Rick is simply fabulous. I think it's a beautiful setup of this session today. It's really nice, very informative, and very, motivating.
Yeah, I mean, the next show we could have Mr. Mohan come in and share his views, right, on the certain things.
I'll be more than happy.
Mr. Mohan, you have any question for the audience? You want to direct it to Rick or to me?
No, I want some advice from Rick for the first timers. See, more than 70% of the first time MDRT qualifiers do not repeat the second year. So, what is Rick's advice for this group of people? Because I want every one of them to repeat MDRT every year, at least for 10 years, and become life member.
You got it? You got that question, Rick?
Can you repeat that? It's just the sound quality is okay, but I just want to make sure I heard the question correctly. Actually, Lim, do you mind repeating his question?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Mohan. I'll repeat it for you. Thanks for calling in, Mr. Mohan. Thanks.
Yeah, sure. Welcome.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Thank you.
So I think he couldn't hear you because why? I'm hearing it on my studio. Okay. His question is, for the first timer out there, a lot of them actually didn't manage to qualify the second time. And he wants you to share and want us to share what are the tips for them to actually qualify the second time and to continue qualifying to at least finish their lifetime membership 10 years. So let's go, Rick.
Sure. Okay. So the reason why I think people qualify first time and they won't repeat is because mentally they're not ready to do it again. What I mean by that, in life, I think most people, if you had a choice of being average, above average, or below average, right? Most people say, I want to be above average. But if you do the same thing as everyone else, you're just average. Remember that. You do the same thing as everyone else, you're just average. The MDRT is a moving target. Every year, that qualification gets higher and higher. Why? Because people are getting better and better. Unfortunately, with most people, once they achieve a goal, they're content. They're like, I won the championship. I've made it. As a matter of fact, the reason why I think people don't repeat is because when you hit it for the first time, you can't celebrate too long. You got to think about the second, third, fourth, the fifth. You got to get better. You got to read. You got to listen. You got to learn. So as you get more successful in life, you got to be grateful, right? Remember the things that got you there. So the reason why we've achieved MDRT 10 straight years in a row and as a life member, because every time we achieve it, we reflect, write down all the things we did the same and different, and what worked and what did not work. And whatever worked, we continue to grow and elaborate. And whatever did not work, we stopped doing it. But what are some new things we need to do to get even better, right? The world is changing. Today, COVID-19 has impacted us all. I'm doing 99% of my meetings on Zoom. I never did it before prior to 2020, ever. And how did we hit top of the table again for the second year in a row? It's simply because I was focused and dedicated to changing and getting better. Because our clients need us to get better. Because they're going to get better, so we need to get better. The problem is people work with someone, and as they work with them, your clients get better, but you don't get better. They don't want to work with you anymore. They fire you. So my goal every single day is get better than I was yesterday. So that's my answer.
All right. So I think this is the last question that we want to take. Is 1.5 hours.
Sure.
So let me just finish this question. How do you actually qualify my input? I think Rick has given an amazing answer. Yes, getting better is one thing, right? Getting better is one thing. If you want to qualify the second year on as MDRT, I think the first year you could have worked very, very hard. I think the second year on, you must actually strategize yourself to sell bigger case, meeting better clients. You must build a niche market. You have to start thinking your ideal client. What is the clients that you want to have? You do not just take anybody on the street anymore. Second year, you try to do whatever you're doing now, but build it on whatever that you're now, build it one step ahead and try to sell and try to imagine the ideal clientele that you want and try to reach out for these people. So take example, like for me, I want businessman client with an income of 50,000 ringgit a month and above, who loves their family and are committed to make their family to make the lives of the family better. So this is my ideal clientele. So when I go out, I seek out these people and I befriend them and I start selling life insurance policy, critical illness, whatever, towards this group of ideal clientele. Why? Because if you sell more and you start knowing this group of people better, you'll be more effective in your selling to this group of people. So know your ideal clientele and work on them. Second year onward, build on this. And then you should qualify MDRT with fewer case, but bigger case. Right?
Great advice.
Yes. So everybody is saying thank you. Rick, thank you for coming to the show. Let me just show you who is saying thank you. All these people is saying thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Rick.
you, Lim.
Thank you, Rick.
Great co-host. We're having lots of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we can improvise the show even further, you know. So we're going to do this we schedule this every month, right? Well, we'll think about it. So until before we change our mind to schedule every 2 weeks, I will say, see you next month. Right?
See you guys.
Right. So thank you guys for coming into the show. If you like our show, please like our page, Lim Ren En Live. And the TOT Talk Show will be available on podcast very soon. Not next week, not tomorrow, but very soon. After 2 or 3 episodes, we will actually start to put it onto podcast so that you can listen in your car, you can listen into wherever you do. All right, like our page, like what we do, like our YouTube channel. Lim Ren En Live have a YouTube channel. Like our YouTube channel. If you want to see this show, you can actually watch it on YouTube as well. Okay? Thank you so much. I'll see you, Rick. Bye.
Take care.